Today, I'm excited to profile my number 7 choice from the Darkness Ablaze post-rotation format. That is Mad Party. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is JW Creewell, aka Flex Daddy Righteous, and today we are looking at another deck profile from the Team Up to Darkness Ablaze post-rotation format. Now, everyone is really excited. We've been waiting for this new set to come out, and lists are starting to be formulated for what these new archetypes can look like. And so through this series, it's a 9-part series, we are going over the best archetypes to come out of Darkness Ablaze. And at number 7, we have Mad Party. Now, Mad Party centers around 4 Pokemon. It's very similar to Night March of the past that centered around Joltik, Lampent, and Pumpkaboo, but now we have an additional attacker that has the Mad Party attack. So we have our 4 Pokemon, Polteageist, Bunneary, Dedenne, and Galarian Mr. Now, all of these have that Mad Party attack, but only 2 of them are the ones that we are going to attack with, potentially. We have the Polteageist and the Bunneary are the ones that we'll focus on, and the Bunneary, obviously, being a basic Pokemon, is going to be the most consistent attacker of the deck. Now, Bunneary, for 2 energy, does 20 damage times the amount of Mad Partiers in your discard. So, why is that any good? Well, if you can put enough Mad Party Pokemon into the discard, Polteageist, Bunneary, Dedenne, and Galarian Mr. Rime, then you can do a ton of damage. This deck would cap out at 300 damage. Let's say you got 4 Poltergeist in the discard, you got 3 Bunneary, you got a 4 Dedenne, 4 Galarian Mr. Rime. That's 15 times 2, that's 300. That's enough to knock out most V Pokemon, and while it's not enough to knock out V maxes, I mean, you're 2-shotting and you're only giving up a 1 prize attacker. So I'd say that's a pretty good prize exchange, and you should be able to get up in the prize trade. So we have those Pokemon. I've opted, obviously you want to maximize those as much as you can. I've opted for 4 Sinestea as well to get out our Polteageist. Now, Polteageist has an ability that allows you to discard a Pokemon with Mad Party and draw 2 cards. So it's not super applicable. It's not as universally good as Cinccino's Make Do or Zoroark's Trade, but it does have some usability in this deck, and considering that Polteageist is also an attacker, I feel like just including the maximum amount of Sinestea is going to be the way you want to go with this list. So we have our 4 Sinestea, 4 Polteageist. The rest of the Mad Partiers are all maxed out. For our consistency Pokemon, I felt like it was important to include both Dedenne and Crobat. Now, Dedenne, discard your hand, draw 6, very strong effect. And Crobat, draw cards until you have 6. I felt like I wanted both. Now, I think you could go to 2 Dedenne. You could even go like 2 Dedenne and 1 Crobat. I felt like that might have been overkill. I really don't want to start either of those Pokemon. But with the Dedenne and Crobat, you can dig for the most cards on the first turn. I feel like the first turn, just getting off the ground, is going to be where this deck is going to have problems. And so I wanted to be able to Dedenne and then Crobat, or Crobat and then Dedenne. Since those abilities can only be used once per turn, I felt like the maximum amount of usage that you could get out of them was on, your opening turns. And so just including 1 of each, you have that option to go dig for them, and could always look to include more copies if you're finding that those are not enough. The last Pokemon that we have is an Choreo. Same idea from our Greedent profile, in that you're playing around with 1 prize attacker. So they're going to go down pretty frequently. It's pretty easy to take down a 40 HP Bunneary. But after your opponent does that, you'll be able to draw 3 cards, hopefully get your next twin energy to keep attacking. So we have Professor's Research, some Roxie, some Hapu, and some Boss's Orders. These are our supporters for the deck. So Professor's Research is a 4 of. Roxie is also a 4 of. I've wanted to max out probably the better supporters. Now, I don't love Professor's Research in this deck, and that's because I feel like the deck wants to maintain a big hand. Also, this particular list focuses around the 4 twin energy, which in some cases, it might not be enough. Like, you might need to utilize all 4 twin energy to win the game. And so that can be really tough if you have to discard them turn after turn. with research. So I feel like Roxie is actually the better supporter in a lot of cases. Not only does it boost your Mad Party damage by getting Mad Partiers into the discard, but it also maintains your hand and fills it up, gets it, very large, very plump hands with this Roxie engine. We also have Hapu, same idea there. You are able to discard Mad Partiers and you're able to just maintain your hand. So the evolution of Mad Party might actually involve boosting the counts of Hapu and Roxie. Like I could see Roxie being a 4 of and also Hapu being a 4 of, and then Professor's Research being a 2 of, because you don't really ever want to discard your hand. We have 4 Boss's Orders. Again, we are playing with fire here with only including 4 Twin Energy. That means we only have at maximum 4 times to attack. And so we want to make sure that we're taking the knockouts on the things that we want to knock out. So 4 Boss's Orders is going to be where we want to go with the list. 2 U-turn board. Pretty self-explanatory, just a way to retreat all your guys. Everything has 1 retreat cost, and so you're fine to include U-turn board over something like Air Balloon. We have 1 Tool Scrapper for the times that the opponents play, a big charm. Let's say it's a big charm on an ADP that has 300 health, and that's not something that you can one-shot, so you want to be able to Tool Scrapper things like that. We have 4 Quick Ball, 4 Great Ball. These are awesome cards to just search out everything that you need. You're going to need a lot of, evolving into the Polteageist. That's good to get down. Your Bunnelbees are good. And they're also a Quick Ball especially is just good to get rid of the Pokemon that you want to get rid of. We will have 4 Evolution Incense. Again, pretty self-explanatory. If we can get the Polteageist out, I feel very confident in the draw ability of the deck. So the Evolution Incense, not only can it search out the Polteageist, but it can also search out the Galarian Mr. Rime, and I feel like you want to just have as much search for those cards as you can. And it's, again, low maintenance. You could go Pokecom in a deck like this, but I feel like just playing a card, getting that immediate effect without having to fulfill any type of restriction is going to be better for us in this deck. We have 2 Lookalike Bell, which says search your deck for a card that is in your discard. So if we had a Bunnelby in the discard, then we could search our deck out for another Bunnelby. Same with any other Pokemon there. So just another way to search, and it's extremely good with this deck because you are opting to discard your Pokemon a lot of the time. Since we play a 1 prize deck, Reset Stamp, I think, is very applicable here. We have the room. As opposed to the Greedent Dolls deck profile, I feel like we didn't quite have the room in that deck, but we do absolutely have the room in this Mad Party deck. So 2 Reset Stamp is where I've gone with this list. I think that is a perfectly fine number, and you should be able to get away with, Reset Stamping your opponent to like 3 or 4 and being able to take over the game with your one-shots. The one weakness of this initial list is that we've only included 4 Twin Energy. Now it's the biggest red flag of the list, and we just have to see how the metagame evolves. But if you look at VMAX Pokemon, right, like you would only need 4. Like we're just planning on playing all 4 of our twins, which can get a little bit hairy when you have to discard 1 or you have 1 or 2 prized. But again, we're really leaning into this deck in terms of all the other things that you have in here that we want to try to include. So 4 Twin Energy is where we're going to go. You could include some triple XLs. Those would work with Polteageist, and I don't think that is a bad move at all. I would love to just cut, 3 cards, put in 3 triple XLs, and now you have more energy that you can attack with Polteageist with. If there was a way to recover energy, that would be absolutely unbelievable. Really be a great effect for this deck, but unfortunately now there isn't. And so we're going to opt with the 4 Twin Energy for this initial list and see how it evolves. I think the math and the prize trade will work out. That 4 Twin Energy will be just enough. I love playing decks that you have just enough resources to win the game, and that is one of these decks for sure. So that's the Mad T profile, guys. Let me know how you've been liking this series down in the comments below. Please make sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe to this channel. We're going to be putting out content for Darkness Ablaze all this week. So I hope you enjoy this profile. Look ahead to the next ones. What do you guys think is going to be number 6? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to turn your bell notifications on so that you get notifications of when these videos go live in the future. And I will see you on the next video. Remember, good luck and also have fun.